Hello and welcome to Sports News Africa, the home of Africa's sporting conversation. Here's a look at today's headlines. African trio playing for Turkish side Fenerbahce in shock after team bus comes under attack. Egypt's Ahly beat Kenya Pipelines to lift the African Women Club's volleyball trophy. Thank you for watching Sports News Africa. I'm Temeskin Devisai. Fenerbahce's African players have been left in shock after their team bus was shot at by a gunman at the weekend. The shooting, which left the driver injured, happened as the Turkish side were travelling to Trabzon airport to fly back to Istanbul following their 5-1 win over Rizespor. Senegal's Moussa Sow and Cameroon's Achille Webo scored 3 of Fenerbahce's goals.
After deliberations with government officials, the Turkish Football Federation announced the suspension of the Turkish League. Local matches have also been postponed by a week. This came after champions Fenerbahce's bus was shot at as it was travelling to Trabzon airport following their 5-1 victory against Rizespor. The players were unharmed, save minor cuts. The driver was injured but is now recovering in hospital. In a statement, the club termed the attack as an assassination attempt following hostility over months of match-fixing allegations surrounding the Fenerbahce's team. Fenerbahce and Trabzon fans are banned from attending any match where the two teams meet. The ban came after a match last season was halted by fans throwing unknown objects onto the field. Second place Fenerbahce are 2 points behind arch rivals Galatasaray with 8 games left in the season. Trabzonspor ranks 6th in the league with 43 points.
In volleyball, hosts Ahly of Egypt won their 6th African Women Clubs Championship after they beat Kenya Pipelines 3-1 in Cairo on the weekend. Pipeline coach Jafeth Manala had hoped the team could win it for Kenya in the wake of the terrorist attacks in Garissa last Thursday. But the 7-time record holders had to settle for silver. Tunisia's Carthage finished in 3rd place.
Egypt's women volleyball club Al Ahly were crowned the African Women Volleyball Club champions for the 6th time, beating Kenya's Pipeline 3-1 in the final match. The first set ended 25-16 to Al Ahly, but the climax came in the 3rd set with a draw at 23 points. After a tiebreaker, Al Ahly won 28-26 points. The hosts were ecstatic, clinching the title after a 7-year dry spell.
We have not won the championship for 7 years. The players were excellent. We had only 10 players without substitutions and we won, thanks to Allah.
The win came despite missing 2 key players who were injured in the last game. Despite this, the Egyptian side acknowledged that they were playing against a very experienced Kenyan side.
We played without the 2 center blocks. We made some changes in the positions of the players. The changes were quite good as we achieved a win against a club which won the championship title 7 times before. It is really a great success for Ahly club.
This is the 6th win for Al Ahly, just 1 short of Kenya Pipeline who have bagged it 7 times. The 2 teams have met each other in a final for a record 13 times. In Sunday's other match, Carthage of Tunisia beat Egypt's Shams to take 3rd place in the championships.
Shams Club is a surprise of this championship. It is a very strong club. They were only just defeated by Kenyan side Pipeline. There was no huge gap between the results of the game, but we were well prepared for Shams Club. We changed the strategies. I told my players that we were just 1 step away from the bronze medal. So we were either to achieve it or go back to Tunisia with nothing, and we won.
The Sunday matches marked the end of the championship games that were held in Cairo, with Kenya's Pipeline finishing in 2nd place and Carthage of Tunisia coming in 3rd.
Cameroon and South African interests in the CAF Champions League have ended after they were both bundled out of the tournament in the first round. Cotton Sport and Cosmos are the casualties for Cameroon, while South Africa's Mamelodi Sundowns and Kaizer Chiefs have also failed to advance to the latter stages. And Kenyan giants Gor Mahia will play no further part after they were also eliminated by the Leopards of Congo.
Kenyan football club Gor Mahia travelled to Dolisi, Congo for their match against AC Leopards, needing 2 goals to proceed to the last 16 of the CAF Champions League. Congo's AC Leopards had beaten Gor Mahia 1-0 in their first leg in Nairobi, placing the Kenyan side at a disadvantage. 38 minutes into the match and the AC Leopards' infamous striker Cesar Ganze scored the match's only goal for the hosts, putting the final nail in Gor Mahia's coffin. AC Leopards coach Lamine Diaye, however, claimed that the match was tough.
When you play a team that plays her all, they usually take a lot of risks without necessarily defending. They always have 2 or 3 more players in front, and it is very difficult to manage. That said, it was not a great day for us either. There were several technical blunders from us too.
Gor Mahia's loss in Congo means they have lost 2-0 on aggregate and are out of the CAF Champions League competition. According to Gor Mahia coach Frank Natal, they put up a show in Congo despite the loss.
In both games, we had opportunities to win both games, both in Nairobi and also here in Dolis. Of course, AC Leopards are a good team, but we gave them a scare. We gave them a fright, and I'm very proud of my players over the 2 legs, how they have tried to play.
The Congolese team now progresses to the last 16 matches. The other 16 qualifiers include Egypt's Ahly, who beat APR of Rwanda 2-0, and Sudanese giants El Merreikh, despite suffering a 2-1 loss to Angola's Kabuskov.
Welcome back to Sports News Africa. This weekend, African clubs played in the second leg of the first round of the CAF Confederation Cup. South African club Orlando Pirates avoided a shock defeat, coming through a tricky last 32 tie with a 2-2 draw away to Ugandan's Revenue Authority to win 3-2 on aggregate. Morocco's FUS Rabat are also through despite suffering a 2-1 defeat to Togo Port in the second leg, having won 3-0 at home in the first leg.
CAF Confederation Cup action continued, with Togo side AS Togo Port becoming the latest casualty. In a match played in Lome, Togo on Sunday, April 5th, the host AS Togo Port in a white jersey made a daring comeback to beat the visitors FUS Rabat of Morocco 2-1. This win, however, was not enough to get them to the next stage of the Confederation Cup, and they were knocked out after a 4-2 loss on aggregate. AS Togo Port coach Ayevi Ekuyevi, however, said he was proud of his team.
I am not discouraged. I opened the game, I won. It's good for morale and for the Togolese supporters. It's okay. We have delivered a lot here in our stadium and in our land. And I want to tell you, I'm quite happy.
The hosts struggled to get back in the game, but their breakthrough came in the 85th minute when Togolese player Semiao Chatakora scored a brilliant free kick. The second goal was quickly followed in a stoppage time, however, and through another free kick, AS Togo won the match. FUS Rabat coach Walid Regragui said he had learnt a lot from the team's defensive mistakes.
Today I got some young ones in at the end. This is what we have learned. If you do not kill the match at the end, you're exposed to the risk of taking in a goal. It is okay that we took in a second goal. I was even happy that we took it because it woke the team up a bit. When you're too full of yourself, there is payback. Congratulations to the AS Togo Port team, which played without complexes. But what we care about is our qualification. We came here to qualify and we did it. The show goes on. AS Togo Port fought well. We congratulate them on their win.
AS Togo Port joins Niger Sahel Sporting Club, who are also eliminated in the first round of the CAF Confederation Cup competition.
Staying with the Confederation Cup and elsewhere, Mali's Créateurs go through after holding Niger Sahel to a goalless draw in Niger. The Malian side won their home game 2-1.
It was an unfortunate day for Niger's football team, Sahel Sporting Club, on Saturday, April 4th at the Municipal Stadium in Niamey, Niger. The home side in the yellow jersey were unable to score a goal against Mali's own Créateurs and proceed to the next round of the CAF Confederation Cup. Sahel had lost to Ons Créateurs in the first leg match in Mali 2 weeks ago, but the 2-1 result meant Sahel only needed a 1-0 scoreline at home to qualify for the last 16. The Sahel coach complained of player injury.
There aren't too many changes in the defense. Just the fullback who hasn't been fit for 2 weeks now. You know, in this first 11 creator team, there are individuals with skills. And for us to calculate the ball, we must have individual players with techniques to manage the game.
Despite a good display of skill with the teams going head-to-head all through the match, the game ended in a draw with neither team able to break the deadlock. Jibril Drame, the Ons Créateurs coach, admitted they faced difficulties in scoring against Sahel's athleticism, but succeeded in psychologically ruining Sahel's game.
We must recognize the value of the Niger team we met. They are good athletes, very strong guys, but they lack fine tactics in the attack. We understood it and put in place a strategy to foil all their game possibilities. Of course, for this to work, we had to prevent them scoring. We could not score either, but we could thwart their game.
FCMK of DR Congo and ASO Schlef of Algeria also qualified for the next stage in matches played on 4th April.
To the Rugby Sevens World Series next, and South Africa lost 21-14 to England in the Tokyo Sevens final at the Prince Chichibu Memorial Stadium at the weekend. The Blitzboks still lead the standings with 129 points ahead of Fiji on 125 and New Zealand, who are on 120. England moved to 4th in the table with that win. And with only 2 legs to go, England's chances of qualifying for the Rio 2016 Olympic Games rest entirely in their hands. Meanwhile, a poor performance from the Kenya Rugby Sevens managed them only 4 points in Hong Kong and Tokyo. They did, however, win the Hong Kong Sevens Shield title with a win over Japan and also got to the Shield semi-final in Tokyo. It is the rally season in East Africa, and Jaspreet Chath has won the 2015 KCB Safari Rally in Meru. The circuit is regarded as one of the toughest rounds of the Kenya National Rally Championship. Sunday also marked day 2 of the Ginger Rally in Uganda, and to the surprise of many, it was former Uganda national motocross team captain Arthur Blick Jr. who was first to cross the finish line ahead of rally favourites.
Rally drivers competing in the second day of Uganda's Ginger Rally battled to keep their vehicles on the road after heavy rainfall turned much of the circuit to mud. Rally driving is experiencing a resurgence across the region. The 2-day Ginger Rally is the second round of Uganda's National Rally Championship and takes place in Jinja, some 86 kilometers from Kampala. Arthur Blick Jr., a 10-time MX champion and also former team captain of the Ugandan national motocross team, won the rally in his Subaru N10, but he said it hadn't been easy.
The circuit is not bad. It's very slippery, and for us drivers, this is a challenge. It teaches, we have to challenge ourselves to be able to drive in slippery conditions very well. For a regular driver, when you're used to driving on a dry surface and you go to a wet surface, you feel like a complete beginner.
It's quite tough. The beginning is quite tough, and it's too tight, too muddy, so the car is kind of misbehaving here and there, but because there's no traction.
To some rally drivers, however, the wet weather just made the rally even more interesting.
Well, today has been different. We don't usually have a wet event. But this time, we are doing it right in the middle of the heavy rains, and that is interesting. It's different from the usual dust. Today we have mud and rain, so it's different and very interesting.
2014 CRC champion Wilbur Polpol took second place, while first-day winner Andrew Desh Kananura took third. Neighboring Kenya opened a 700-kilometer KCB rally in Nairobi over the Easter weekend.
And that's the end of Sports News Africa for today. Join us again tomorrow when we'll bring you all the latest from Africa and around the world. Bye for now.